So, what's up? It's me, John, founder and CEO of Tier 5. I'm about to take a little smoke break, even though I shouldn't be doing that. It's 10:30 in the morning. Haven't been home yet. Been at work all day. About to jump on a Zoom call with someone I never met before, someone from the internet that somehow has found information about me and my software and Tier 5 and has just decided to sign up and pay me $97 a month and then wanted to have a chat with me. So I'm just waiting for them to show up. So just 1 second while they show up. Hey Ernie, what's going on, man? Can you hear me? You gotta join the audio. You got the audio joined? Can you hear me?
Yo, yo.
Yo, what's up, man? How you doing?
Good, good, man. How are you?
I'm good. Been busy. Got a lot of stuff going on. It's like 10:30 in the morning. Haven't been to bed yet. Didn't even go home last night. Stayed at the office all night. But I'm doing great. How are you doing, man?
Can't complain. Fucking same thing. It's 10 o'clock here in San Diego, so this is usually when my best work happens. So.
Yeah, not mine too, man. I do the best work. I got like 38 full-time engineers that work for me, and honestly, it's like fucking being a father to 38 people. So it's like while they're at the office, I really can't get hardly any of my work done because they want me to help them, and I don't even understand it. It's like I pay you guys a salary to do work, and you guys want me to help you with your job. Like I pay you money to do it, so I get all my work done whenever I'm by myself too, man. I know it.
No, I feel you, man. Rock and roll. Looks like one of us rolling in right now.
Yeah, maybe that's probably my tea guy. So he's the dude that cleans the floors and makes my tea and stuff. Hey, Joy, can I have some sugar? I didn't have any sugar for my tea. It's pathetic if you got to make your own tea. Really, it's like, you know, once I realized it, it was a really hard jump for me as an entrepreneur to finally decide that, you know, what I should do is I should pay somebody to do all these mundane tasks, like clean my clothes and wash my dishes, you know, and then I could take that time. And at first, you know, I thought, well, how will I get the money to pay this person? And then I finally realized, like, well, shit, all that time I could be washing my dishes, I could just use that time to make money. And once I realized that, man, bam, I started a company and I grew it to 40 full-time engineers because I just realized, like, well, shit, I just got to buy people's time. And
well, there's no fucking way that I'm going to fucking make my own goddamn tea.
I know, right? Like, I've done it 3 times today, and I'm sitting there like, I got a dude, he's the highest paid guy in my company. Like, he's the highest paid guy. I recruited him from IBM. He'd been working at IBM for like 7 years, senior engineer, really, really smart guy. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. Like everybody's left except for like I got a core team of like 3 guys that will work, you know, 16-hour days. My T guys are gone. So like this dude's like a senior level software engineer. I'm just like, hey, can I get a minute? And he runs my whole company. He's my projection manager. He's like, yeah, anything you need, John. I was like, I need some tea, motherfucker. Go make me some tea. I can't do it. I mean, I can, but why would I?
Hey, fucking man, dude. Hey, fucking man. Well, dude, I'm super impressed with what you got going on. So just kind of my history. I have a solar company and we're brokers, and basically we're in 28 states nationwide here in the U.S. and up until now, basically it's just independent reps that we have that they use our platform of installers to go and sell solar systems, right? So it's kind of like what you do. Like you built a platform of, you know, software, and people use your software to either white label it or, you know, do affiliate marketing and, you know, promote, you know, the whole Tier 5 brand, right? So ours is Sun Nerds, and we have a network of installers. And what we do is we connect the customer. We're the customer gathering, you know, agency, and we connect them with an installer wherever they live. we educate them better. We, do all these different things that basically, instead of them meeting with 5 different companies, which most people do, they meet with us and we bring them 5 different companies and we say, which one fits you the best? This is what we think, by the way. Which one would you like to go with? Right?
Sure.
So I stumbled upon the, what's it called? The text in bulk. And I was like, holy shit, man. Like, I'm using Fix Your Funnel right now, which I don't know if you're familiar with that. So Fix Your Funnel, it's an Infusionsoft plugin. Basically, it's, text messaging. It'll, submit tags. It'll do all that shit. But then you have to go out and you have to get the leads. You have to do all this other bullshit. So once I saw your lead gathering system, I was like, holy shit. Like, so you're telling me that I could pay less than what I do with these fuckers, and I can go out, target these different companies and say, hey, listen, like, you guys do what you do best. We want to partner with you. If you're interested in, adding value to your customers, AKA, roofing contractors, home inspection companies, all these different places, if you can send this out to your people, we'll have an affiliate link and track your progress with these different customers, and we'll send you $1,000 per person that signs up. Right? So super sold on like what you guys do. I'm honestly kind of baffled that you guys only charge what you charge, like, because I'm new to the whole digital marketing space, and I'm looking at guys like Russell Brunson who have like ClickFunnels, and I've got his premium membership and all this shit, and it's like, wait, hold on, like this fucking John guy has all of this shit already tied in. Like, why the fuck am I doing all this other shit?
Well, there's a big reason why we charge such a low amount for our software, and the reason is, man, I'm a software engineer, man. I don't do marketing. I'm not good at marketing. Even my people skills suck really bad. I say fuck a lot, like I cuss a lot. So my people skills suck. And what we do for the most part at Tier 5 is we build enterprise level softwares for other clients. And I left my job. I used to make $170,000 a year as a project manager, and I left my job because I got so sick of companies essentially, buying my intellect, buying my brain power, and making millions and millions of dollars off of it. So started my own company, and honestly, it's been the same thing since I started my own company. People are paying me for my brain power to build them $1 million companies. And, I get a temporary paycheck today, and then I get paid good, but, let's say I get paid $500,000, and 2 years later, these guys have made $10 million off of the stuff that I did. And it's just, it sickens me working for clients. So I have this concept, and what it's called a free roam policy, all right? And the free roam policy, what it allows us to do is it allows me to take not everybody that works for me, but the creative types, the ambition types, let's say the entrepreneur types that have their own passions, and allow them to essentially do whatever they want. They can come to work, and I'm not going to assign them tasks. I'm not going to say, you have to do this, you have to do that. They're going to tell me what they want to do. They're going to say, hey, I want to work on this technology. I want to build that software. We're going to validate it. If there's some way that we can either, 1, generate money from the software, or 2, generate leads from the software, we're just going to build it. Because from my opinion, 1, the employee retention, I'm going to be able to easily, what employee, if I tell you come into work and you're like, well, what am I supposed to do? I'm like, whatever you want. And you're going to pay me for that? Like, yeah, who's not going to go for that? And then 2, what will happen is the dude that I'm paying, X amount for 160 hours a month, he'll end up working 300 hours a month for the same amount because he doesn't feel like he has a job. He's doing whatever he wants. So
right.
I was had 2 options. I can spend a shit ton of money on marketing and branding to try to launch our software products, or I can do something innovative, which I did. I started the Tier 5 Community, the first ever community-owned software development firm, and I just made a low price like ClickFunnels. I watched Russell too. He's been who I'm trying to take all my marketing skills from and learn marketing from, and I figured, he set the price of ClickFunnels at $97 initially. He must have did that for some reason. So fuck it, that's going to be my price. And I just said everything that I got access to, you can have that. And in exchange for that, and you'll get affiliates, so you can be an affiliate and get, we pay 58% affiliate commission on all promotions. And it seemed like, one, I can easily start to get sales and not have to do a lot of work to make the sales because the price is so low. And two, my affiliates, they'll create all my marketing material for me. They'll do all my promotions for me. So yeah, that's why. Well, I used to charge, like for text and bulk, I still have users that are paying $4.97 a month to use that software. But it was like, to acquire those users, it was like 2 hours of my time, and to some extent it's worth it, right? If I spend 2 hours of my time and I get a dude that's going to go in and pay $500 a month and he's going to be a member for, 12 months, that's $6K a year for 2 hours, that's pretty damn good money. But at the same time, it's 2 hours of my time. If I got to do that for every single person and then I only get, like a 10% conversion ratio, it's just too much time. So just dropped the prices and started something innovative and said, like what I sell right now, I don't even sell the software. What I sell is access to the community, because the community allows, like the whole goal of the community is once we're funded, we've got a maximum amount of 600 members. Once we get 600 members in our community, then what we are going to do is build software on demand for the community and be like an incubator. So what we'll end up doing is, let's say you have an awesome software idea based on your experience in some niche and some business, and hey, this software would totally rock the market, but you don't have, $1 million to build a software. So what do? Well, you come to the Tier 5 community, you pitch your ideal to the Tier 5 community, we evaluate your ideal, all the community members chime in, they essentially do your market validation for you, right? And say, yes, this is a good product. What about these features? These features, they help you with your market validation. If they say, hey, go, let's do it, we build this shit for free. I get my engineers, we build it for free. And by the time we're done, you come to me with an ideal and we give you a software for free, and we give you an entire affiliate team and an entire sales force that will go out and promote and sell your software. Well, if I do that, what are you going to give me? Well, from my perspective, you'll give me 90% of your company. If all you got is an ideal and nothing else, and I fucking fund you, I put in an investment, I give you a sales force, I give you a distribution channel, you'll give me pretty much anything that I ask. If I'm like, look, I want 90% of your company, you're going to be like, well, that's a lot, but oh, okay. So not that we're going to do that, but it makes, and that's kind of the goal of the community, is to make the first ever community funded software firm. So that's kind of why it's a low price. Software is definitely valued at a lot more than that. Like just in text and bulk, the database that's there just for domain leads, like a $8,000 database just for the data.
Dude, that's what sold me big time, because I was looking at this company called Dynamic Card, and I wanted to talk to you about that because I think that it could be a good caveat to what you're doing, because you got the online covered. Then if you take a digital component and put it with a physical mailer, these people are putting out like plastic cards that have like the back end where if someone registers a gift card or whatever to, let's say, Jimmy John's or any sub shop that you're familiar with, a lot of this shit goes on in San Diego, right? So if they register the gift card, then they already know the person's name, the demographic, where they live, like all this shit, like exactly to the T where they fucking mailed the thing, right? So I was looking into this stuff and I was like, fuck, like, why am I paying these people all this money? Like, all that I would really need to do is have some sort of mailer where I could take the offline to the online and have some sort of, landing page with ClickFunnels or Infusionsoft or something like that, where I can have, people basically registering their address, like verifying their address with a web form, right? So I was like, okay, fuck you guys, I don't need you, see you later. So it kind of brought me to these, for the last probably 2 months, like I've stayed at the office till fucking, 2, 3 in the morning. And all I've been doing is just researching different ways that people are doing stuff. And that's where I resonated with you guys, because I was like, okay, these people are not only giving you guys a lead source, but also a text messaging, application that reaches the end consumer.
Oh, and it does a lot more than text messaging, and it does IVRs. If you want to set up an IVR system, press 1 to talk to sale, press 2 for, company directory. You can set up those IVRs that, like, We have something called the IVRs. You can build the IVRs. They're really simple. If you want, I'll just show them to you. Really simple. The IVRs are really simple. Actually, what screen are you seeing a chat fuel screen right now? Are you seeing this? This is chat fuel?
Yes.
All right. So I know what screen that you're on. We've got the IVRs. The IVRs are really easy to build. I'm sure you're familiar with the IVRs. You just go in and actually create the IVRs. Our IVRs are two-way, all right? So you can set them up as an inbound IVR, so when people call your phone number, they're dropped into IVR, and you can also send them outbound. So you can make an outbound IVR for something like feedback, right? You can go in and after somebody makes a purchase or something, you can send them out that outbound IVR. Hey, thanks for doing business with us. Would you like to take a feedback survey? Press 1. They press 1. Would you please rate 1 to 5? How was your experience with us? They give a rating, and if it's a low rating, you can connect them live to a customer support agent. If it's a positive rating, you can say, hey, would you like to get a link sent to you via text message so you can post a review on Facebook or something? So we support those outbound IVRs. We have something called a sales bridge as well. So I could see that the sales bridge could possibly work for you. And what the sales bridge does is it's pretty straightforward. I'm just gonna kind of draw it out for you. All right. So with the sales bridge, you've got a Twilio number. Okay. So this is your Twilio number. All right. And then you've got down here, you've got your lead. All right. So you've got your lead, and that's what you guys are doing, are connecting leads. And then over here, you've got your rep, right? You've got your rep that you're going to connect your lead with. So you got your rep over here. All right. And then inside the middle, you can use whatever you want. For me, I use ClickFunnels here. All right. So you got some landing page, and this is where you collect your lead at. So your lead comes into this landing page. He puts his phone number here. He puts his name here. All right. Once he hits submit and hits go, what essentially happens? All right. So he hits submit. Now what essentially happens is what's called a sales bridge. All right. So what happens is he hits submit. So from your Twilio number, your whatever we call this guy, your the dude you're sending the lead to, your rep. All right. Your rep's going to get an incoming phone call, which you can put a custom whisper message in that you can say, hey, here's a new solar panel lead being delivered to you from Ernie or from whatever your business name is, right? And then you can actually inject all the words where you can then, after you give them that custom whisper, you can say, your lead's name is John Vaughn, his phone number is this, he has a budget of this, and this, he's in this area code, press 1 to talk to the lead. Dude presses 1 to talk to the lead, and then he's instantly connected with this guy. This guy gets an incoming phone call. Dudes are now synced up on the phone, and everything's in your system where you can track it. You can listen to the recording, all that good stuff. So it makes it really easy for you to use something like ClickFunnels or any lead page built, any little lead capture page, capture the leads, and then dish them off to whoever it is that you're selling those leads to.
Gotcha.
It does that SMS chatbot. So if you want to create like a chatbot, like an autoresponder for that way, whenever people, like for example, you're sending a campaign, hey, are you interested in a new solar panel? And the dude's like, well, maybe. How much do they cost? Well, you can set up a keyword for how much do they cost or what is the price. And whenever you get that incoming message, you can just automatically respond back with a message, so you don't have to physically do it. The software will do it for you.
Gotcha. Yeah, so the main part of what we do is, what I'm trying to build is a whole lead platform, and then we'll have the boots on the ground go and close them, right? So the main thing is I want to get to the core conversation, which is send us your bill right now, hurry up, don't delay, right? Like, and I almost thought about, like, because of the stuff that you're showing me, like, I think what I'm going to do, like the second that I saw that you guys did the Google business ads, like I'm just going to target all of these like home improvement companies and say, hey, if you send us leads, we'll give you guys basically an affiliate program. And then if you guys send us the lead, then it goes through this whole automated progression to get them to send us the bill. Hey, we only take 100 clients a month, right? Like we only take that many. So go ahead and like, this is what locks in your place in line. Here's the link. Boom. Now it goes to a survey, and then, send us your bill to saveyourspot@sunnerds.com or whatever it is. So that's kind of like I like the way that the bridge happens. Initially, I'm going to be testing the system, and I want to get overloaded with leads and incoming calls and all that shit. But eventually, I want to build some sort of platform where we have like a member login area, which obviously you can do with ClickFunnels, but like I can't upload to ClickFunnels like specific documents to a person, right? Which is like why I identified with you guys. Like I was like, okay, well, at first, let's get as many fucking leads as possible, close as many customers, make a shit ton of money, help the customers, and then let's build a whole entire platform where, and maybe you can tell me more about this, but like my grand vision is where people come to a website and then they click their, address, like, hey, it looks like you're at this address. Yeah, cool. Boom. And then it comes up with like the Google, I don't know if you've heard about the Google Solar Project, or like the, it's like a heat map where it shows you how many, sun hours you get at your home and all that shit. But if it could pull up their home, show them the heat map on their home, but not direct them to Google where they're going to sell off the lead, where it could just direct it directly to us. Boom. Okay, hey, it looks like you guys are a really good candidate. Congratulations. We're going to get in touch with you. To lock in your place in line for this month's, discount club, or the Solar Buyers Club, or whatever the fuck we call it, then, click here, and it sends us all of that fucking information. So I don't know if that would be like a possibility, or maybe that would be something that we, discuss down the road. But yeah, I'm just fucking excited, man.
Yeah, I can't believe any custom software, we can build pretty much any custom software, man. Like one of my favorite clients, one of my favorite clients, his name is Steven. He runs his own software development firm. He just hires a bunch of my developers, man. We literally, like, what are we building for him? We built this huge CRM for him that is for the medical industry. It's for these dudes, and what they do is genomic healing, all right? So let's say you've got ED. Let's say your dick don't get hard anymore. You go to the doctor, they do a little scan, they realize, what's your problem with your dick, or your knee's broken or whatever. So they do a little scan on you, they figure out where the best place is to do an extraction, and they essentially extract your DNA, they extract your stem cells, all right? And then they essentially sequence that raw material, and they concentrate it, and then they inject it back into your dick, and they basically heal yourself with your own with your own cells before they're actually told what to do. Very complex process. So we built their entire CRM for him. We've got another. He's not my favorite client. He's kind of an asshole. I don't really like him. But the stuff we do for him is really crazy. It's a company called Progenesis, and they kind of do the same thing. What they are, they're like a fertility clinic, all right? So you go there, they take tests, they actually pull your DNA, they pull out your DNA, and they essentially tell you when to have sex, if you're gonna have a baby. If you have a baby, is it gonna be retarded? Is it not gonna be retarded? How tall is it gonna be? What's his eye color gonna be? All that good stuff. And we essentially integrate with all their machines, right? So these guys are essentially, it's all a HIPAA compliant site. These guys, we're essentially like the actual genomic machines that do the genomic sequencing. We're integrated, the software is integrated where when they run the sequencing and they get back the genomic profile, that data is put right back into the CRM. So we do some pretty complex stuff. So we can pretty much do anything that's possible, we can do.
No shit, man. Yeah, I'm looking at Progenesis. Holy shit. They're in La Jolla?
I don't honestly know. I don't honestly know where they're at, because Progenesis, so part of my model, man, I don't want to say that I'm lazy, but if you remember, I told you that a lot of the client work that we do, I'm not really super passionate about it. So most of my model has been, I do outreach and I do the prospecting, and I find the clients, and then I do the closing. And then after I close the clients, what I do is I go through a short little process on workflow and get them accustomed to communicate with me in a very certain way and to assign me tasks in a very certain way so that I'm not involved in it whatsoever. Like ProGenesis, we've worked for them for 22 months and I haven't talked to that guy in 21 months. So I have no idea what's going on there really, because it's just my developer that does everything. And I've tried to work in a model where I'm not needed as much as possible. So I'm not really sure where they're at. I know we work for him and he sends me a paycheck every week.
There you go. Well, that's probably more complex than probably what we need, but you know, eventually, like, you know, I would like to get an API where we can use the inverter company's software for monitoring and then API that into their specific member portal and still have it branded as our company, even though we didn't do the install, we didn't do the permitting, we didn't do basically anything to get solar on the roof other than talk to them, educate them on how to go solar, and that's it, you know? And then have like some sort of like referral platform in there, or, you know, some sort of way to push notifications to them or whatever else. So as far as the, maybe you can kind of take me through how to, like, the main thing that I'm focused on is getting the send in bulk kind of set up at first. And then I think that just like talking to you, I think obviously you're a cool dude. Like, we're going to fucking work great together. The main thing that I'm trying to get set up is how to get, 1, leads for businesses, and then 2, leads for customers. Like, how do most of your people get leads for like, let's say homeowners in specific demographic areas?
All right, so not technically possible right now. There is kind of a way if you got some money. All right, so right now we can get you all the leads that you want, as far as if they've registered a domain or if they are like a B2B lead. All right, if you want to know, yo, is this dude a homeowner, then this is an integration I've been planning for a while, but the reason that I haven't done it yet is because not everybody can obviously pay for the service. It's not that expensive. It's not that expensive, but I've got an integration plan with Tower Data. All right, these guys end up being. I'll show you kind of like a. Let me see if I can find it here. I'll show you some, like, a demo of it. These guys are, I think it's what is it? Like, it ends up being like 25 cents maybe maximum per lead. So, but you can imagine if you're doing 25 cents per lead and you're doing 10,000 leads that you want to get some extra data on, that starts to become, you know, that's $2,500 just to get the data on the leads. Now, is that worth it? Well, if you can afford the money, hell yeah, that's worth it, because now you can actually filter out and you can find out from Tower Data, do these dudes own homes? Do they rent? Do they own? If they own, what's their homeowner value? You know, what's the value of their house? How long do they actually own? All right. Are they parents? If they're parents, how many kids they have? A breakdown of expenditures. Where do they actually? What's their annual income, and where are they spending? And what sectors are they actually spending this money? All right. So this is part of what Tower Data gives you right here. For example, you can see you hand Tower Data. All you got to do is give Tower Data like an email address or a phone number, and then they give you all this data back. They give you back, you know, the first and last name. They give you their age. They give you. They don't always give it to you. They give it to you if available. So you can see if this person's 65 plus, 35 to 44, male or female. Tells you household income, what their household income is. So you can see this guy's making, you know, between 100,000 to 125,000 a month. You can see maybe this guy's not the guy for you. It's a girl. She's single. She does own her own home, and her home market value is between 150,000 to 200,000. But she only making, but she's lying out her ass because she only making $15,000 a month. So she's probably lying about something. How long has she actually owned her house, so length of residence, and you can see you get all this additional data. This is like where the education, so now you know, did they complete high school, did they complete college? So essentially, we've been wanting to add this integration into text and bulk, where essentially, let's say if you grab domain leads, or if you grab Google business leads, you send all this data to Tower Data, and then Tower Data will come back and tell you, okay, are they homeowners? Are they renters? What's their annual income? Are they parents? What's their house value? How long have they lived there? What's their education? All this over here, you know, this tells you their occupation. What do they actually do? And this tells you some information about their spending habits, right? If they're interested, like this person is interested in home and garden, like here, this would be great for you, home improvement. Now you get to know all these people that have said that they're actually interested in home improvement, because those people are probably interested in some type of solar panel, or at least so they're a more qualified lead. So then you'd be able to go in and see, you know, this guy's a white collar worker, completed high school, he's making, you know, he's making 25 to 35K a year. He's got a house that he rents, but he's interested in home improvement. Not really sure why he's interested in home improvement if he rents a house. But then we could use a mix of this data to essentially give you back who your most qualified leads are to essentially buy. And then from my perspective, you can monetize this in two ways, right? You can monetize it obviously by having this list of the hyper qualified people, so you know these are the people I need to focus on because they'll buy my shit. And then everybody else that doesn't meet your conditions that you really want to market to, you can find some other shit to market to them, or you just sell their data back to somebody else. You just, you know, say, hey, I've got all this data, and sell their data back to somebody else.
Interesting. So you're saying that if I go to the Google Business Leads, which that's just kind of like included in the software, I just need to log into my account and all that data is already available, right?
Kind of, sort of. Yes and no, kind of, sort of. What you need to do is you need to log into your account, and then what you need to do is you have to create your own Google API key. There's a documentation on how to create your API key. You just need to grab your API key and get it plugged into the system. Now you do have to enable billing on your API, all right? So you got to give Google a credit card. You will most likely never be charged though. Google, once you enable, you do have to enable billing, and they give you a request limit of like 100,000 API calls every 24 hours. So if you're going to try to generate, you know, 1 million leads every 24 hours, then you're going to get a charge from Google, and it's like 1 cent per API call. But if you do less than 100,000 API calls a day, they never charge you anything. But you do have to go in and generate that Google API key, and then you do for Yelp, you have to go in and actually generate the Google API key, and then generate a Yelp API key as well if you want to get those leads.
Okay.
Really simple process though, and there's a little document and a little training video on how to do that.
Okay. And what you're saying is, so I go to the Google Business Leads, there's going to be text messages that filter down through the whole process. Then I send a message out to all the, let's say, home inspectors in the area. And then not only am I looking for if the home inspector is interested in sending me, monetizing their own client base, but also if that home inspector is actually a homeowner and maybe, you know, qualifies for our service.
Yes, but right now to get that, until we go to direct integration with Tower Data, like I said, I really want to do it. The reason I haven't is because most of our users are kind of new in business or kind of small business, and they don't understand the value that if you've got 100,000 contacts and you spend 25 cents per contact, and yes, that's going to cost you $25,000, the data and the information and the amount of time that you'll save and your ability to go in and actually now take that list and make $1 million from it, either they don't understand it or they just don't have the money to clean the list. So I just haven't built the integration. But what you could do right now, for example, here's a list, for example, of let's say LA gyms. All right. So this is a list that came from LA gyms. All right. 57 leads here. What you could do is you could download this data right here. You could just export this list, and then you could just give that list. You could upload it into Tower Data, and they will give you back a list that looks like that list that I showed you that has all this data in it here, where then you can filter out and just grab the people that you want. and then re-upload that filterized list back into text and bulk, where, you know, you can create a list called hot leads, and then you can go in and make a filter and say, look, I want to filter by people who have attended college, or I want to filter by people who own a house and are above this threshold. And then you get your filterized data out, and then you create a new little data set, and then you import that data set back into text and bulk.
Gotcha. Okay. Very interesting.
But for us, lead generation, we don't, in our platform, we don't give you like a lot of complex matrix about the lead. For us, lead generation is if the dude just registered a domain. Anybody who's registered a domain and they've made that registration public, we'll give you that information. So it's a WHOIS database. Anybody that's ever registered a domain, if they make it public, you can get that information. Google business leads. Anybody who's lists their business on Google, we'll give you those guys. Yelp. Anybody who's lists their business on Yelp, we'll give you those guys. And then our other things are Facebook lead ads, but that's not a lead that we're generating for you. That is a lead that you have attached to a Facebook advertisement and a Facebook lead form. And whenever somebody fills that form out on Facebook, they're popped into our system. And the other thing is a geographic lead. That geographic lead is really, you don't get any real useful information. All it does is, let's say you want to target New York, New York. So you would just go in and you would, you know, put in New York. You'd put New York City, probably New York. And then you tell me, do you want to find mobile phone numbers or do you want to find landlines? Let's say you want to find mobile numbers. So then you'll get back a list that shows, okay, for New York, New York, and you probably didn't want to do this. You probably didn't want to do New York City. You probably just wanted to go in and put in New York here. You just put in New York, and then you put in New York, and then you, let's see, run that search. And then now you see you get back all these pages, and this just gives you every carrier in New York that sells cell phone numbers. So, for example, if you want AT&T, all right, that's actually singular. All right, here's all the singular. And you can see there's 5. There's a lot of pages of the singular. So you select all these guys, and what will end up happening is for each guy that you select, we're going to give you back 10,000 phone numbers, okay? We're going to say, hey, 347-281, that is the prefix for New York, New York, singular wireless, and we'll give you back from 0000 all the way to 9999. You're not going to have any other data about the lead, just their phone number, and that will give you every single phone number on that network. Now, you can spam all out, 10,000 of them. Can I tell you how many of those are valid phone numbers? They're all valid phone numbers. Can I tell you how many of them have an active contract with AT&T? No, I don't know. All I know is that if you want to get an AT&T number from 347-281, I'll give you back 10,000 phone numbers, and that's every possible number that could exist on that network. And then you can just send them all out a message, and you can be pretty rest assured that those people live in New York, New York, or at least they purchased their phone in New York, New York, and they've recently moved. Other than that, that's where we kind of end on lead generation. Other than that, how you can get leads is just, you know, from your own mechanisms. You can import them into our system through our Zapier automations. So, but we are always trying to figure out new ways to get leads. If you can identify a source where you can get leads from easily and they have an API or a way for us to scrape, we'll go in and we'll build in that feature and functionality.
Gotcha. Yeah, and I think that, you know, the main thing that I need at first is just, one, I'm using this fixture funnel thing, which you haven't seen it, look it up. I think they charge like 2 cents per fucking text message or whatever it is. Like, it's just, it's not that bad, like, when you look at it, but at the same time, it's like, I've used Twilio for, like, you know, webinar, you know, responders and all that type of shit. So I'm very familiar with that. But the fact that I can target these businesses and then run a campaign with, like, hey, run this as a, you know, anyone that owns a home in your company, you know, you can make $1,000 per person that goes solar in your company put it towards the, company Christmas budget, put it towards whatever you want, yada, yada, yada. And just launching new markets, which we're doing, every other month. It's like, let's just text all of the businesses, hey, we're Sun Nerds, we're just reaching out. We're going to be in your area. If you know anyone that owns a home, we'd love it if you would, forward them our information or whatever. And it's like at a less than a cent per contact, that's fucking huge. At least people know our name at that point.
Yeah, so for us, we do use Twillo. So Twillo is our SIP provider. So one of the first things that you'll do in Text in Bulk, there's a training tab right here that you can just check out the training, and it will walk you through. I would suggest looking at this Get Started, and it will walk you through everything that you need to do to get started and get set up in the system. And one of the first things that you'll do is you'll set up your Twillo account. You'll just come right in here to your settings over here, and you'll go to this Twillo config, and you'll put in your API keys from Twillo, and that's where we get our phone numbers from. That's our data provider. So you do have your Twillo cost as well, which is less than a penny per text message and less than a penny per minute on the phone call.
Okay, cool. And then I did have a question about, so as far as data for companies, I used to use a service called Prospect Now, and they had owner-occupied business databases. So for instance, a 10,000 square foot building with an owner that also occupied the building with their own business. Is there any way to get some sort of integration with that?
Yeah, if you can send me the information, like I said, that's something I rack my head on every day, is trying to figure out more ways to get leads, more ways to get leads from, because that is what adds immense value in. It's like if I go in and just remove this part of the software right here, half my users will leave. Even though this system lets you automate your entire communication process, and it's so powerful in communication, if I go in and remove these lead gens right here, half my users, they will no longer see the value in the software because they don't get free leads. So I'm constantly trying to find out new sources to bring in new leads. So yeah, if you've got sources where you want to get leads from that have some type of easy integration, it could be an easy, for domain leads. For domain leads, for me, this is just a file that I get from somebody every day. The Whois database, I pay them, $500 a month, and every single day they give me a data file of all the new domain leads that have been registered, and I just import them into the system. So it could be as simple as that, some service where, they just provide you a data file every single day. What we would do is we'd grab that data file, we'd upload it into that lead gen section, and then we would allow you, search filters so that you can filter through whatever data fields that they're going to give us, in their data. We'll give you search filters so that you can go in and, just filter based on that criteria and then generate your list. And then every day as we get data from those guys, we'll pull in, we'll give you that data. If it's something like an API, like with Google, and they have an API for search for the lead gen, what we'll do is we'll build out that integration, and then we'll have a way just like Google where if there's a charge for the actual data API, you'll go in, you'll register for the API, you'll get the token, and then you'll just put the token in, and then you'll run your search. The leads will be in our system, and then you can just automate everything once the leads are generated, and then whatever the cost is for the actual leads from the data API, that's on you to bear. We'll just make the integration really possible, really, really easy for you to get the data, for you to filter the data, and then for you to start your automations and your campaigns on that. So yeah, any type of lead gens that you want to see in the platform, if you could just send you can just send me an email or something on Facebook. If you send me an email, it's a little bit easier, and give kind of as much information as you can. Don't just say, hey, I want to get data from ABC company, and you don't even give me the URL and shit so I can go check them out. If you can just give me as much data as you want, I want to get leads from this source. Here's their website. Here's what I'm looking to get. Here's ideally how it would look for me. I would be able to run a search and filter by this, and this, and then I can go in and actually do the research and figure out how we can make that integration. And like I said, I got 40 engineers that work here, and I'll just tell one of them, hey, guess what? You're building today. This is what you're building, so go do it.
So Very cool, man. And then as far as like numbers for, and maybe you can't give me this without, more discovery or whatever, but like, the business is pretty simple. I just want a way for our existing guys to not only have like a training platform and like a place that they like when they log in, I can just upload all their shit to, the platform that we build. And then if if the customer downloads our app, then they are automatically tied to whoever signed them up initially. And then if that customer has a referral, they go in and boom, they they refer our their mom, their dad, and their sisters, brothers, aunts, dog, or whatever. And then also throughout the process, if we can have like some sort of customer portal where they log in, and then we have their the steps, like it'll move them maybe along, like step 1, like send your bill. Okay, cool, you've sent your bill, congratulations. And we can move them along in our CRM. People like can communicate within the platform. Like, how much would something like that cost to build and then maintain?
So really, really relative. We would definitely have to do more discovery, but I can give you like a ballpark estimate just based on my prices. So for me and my model, I have different prices that I charge. The cheapest rate. What you do is you buy a developer for full time and you pay up front for a month of their time. If you do that, I give you a senior developer for $2,500 a month. All right. So from that, you get 160 hours. You end up being at like $15. Let's just call it $15 even. All right, is what you end up paying for software development. You pay $15. All right. So for the most part, any enterprise level software, you're not going to spend more than 4,000 or 5,000 hours in any enterprise level software. Okay, to give you an example, here's one that we're building right now. All right, here's one that we're building right now. I'm not sure why it's still loading, other than we're in the middle of building it. But we've done everything on this site. We're complete build from the ground up. I'd love to actually show you more of it, but for some reason this dude is just sitting here and doing something. And that's because, like I said, this is not live yet. We're still in the middle of building this. But this is simply willed. So this essentially allows you to go. We built this for a lawyer. It essentially allows you to go in and do the entire process that he has to do physically, do it manually. He's a will doctor or a will lawyer. So you just go in, pick what state you are, what type of will that you want, put in your information, and it creates like a legally binding will and sends it to you, and you just buy it over the internet. This entire software, I think he's paid about $40,000 for it, but I've had a team of 4 developers on this software for the fucking 16 weeks. 4 months, 5 months. He's had a team of 4 developers on this software. So the average software, let's say an average proof of concept, something that is good enough for you to use and start getting a utility, that's not going to be more than 1,000 hours, to get something like that. So you're looking at, minimum $5,000, maximum, I would say maximum, let's say $60,000. But if you're dropping $60,000 with me, what does that mean? Well, that means that with me, if you're dropping $60,000, then that means that you're essentially getting 4,000 hours worth of software development. You're getting a software developer on staff for 2 fucking years. That's 2 years worth of software development. That's enough time to build pretty much any complex system that you want. For example, text in bulk. All right, text in bulk. This entire platform, building the entire application, which is a huge application, as you'll get to see all the different features in it. Really, really huge. We've got about 13,000 hours built inside this application. So if that was you, what would that cost you? That would cost you about $200K to build that software. But keep in mind, this is probably much more in depth than than a lot of the stuff that you're going to need. I would say, like I said, at least a minimum 5K, because in that 5K, what we're going to do in that 5K is we're first going to hash out what you need built. We're going to sit and talk. We're going to plan everything out. We're going to actually understand the requirements, and then anything left over from that is going to go to dev time. In that 5K, we can typically do enough planning to know exactly what we're going to build, and pretty much to a T, more or less exactly how much it's going to cost you. But so at least budget 5K. But I would say for anything you need, probably $15,000, $20,000 is the most you're really going to spend on anything, unless you want to build unless you want to build something like text in bulk, which is meant to be a SaaS application that's making, $100,000, $200,000 a month in revenue. If you're trying to build that type of enterprise level software, then yeah, you could expect to spend maybe $80,000, $100,000 with me to build something like that. But you got to understand that's just going to be generating you $50,000 a month, $60,000 a month. So that's nothing. But if you're just wanting to build a tool that's going to help you in your business process with your own clients and stuff, and it's not something that you're looking to put in, 100,000 users are now going to be using the platform. Something like that, you're probably going to pay, $10,000, $20,000 depending on what we talk about and what we figure out the requirements.
Gotcha. Yeah,
$15 an hour is what you could budget with me, which is pretty damn cheap.
Yeah, that's damn cheap for the skill level.
Yeah, you're going to get a real engineer. You're going to get a dude like for $15 an hour. If you're on that model where you pay upfront, you just pay a month at a time. That's a dedicated resource to me. That dude, you're going to get a dude like, I got dudes here that I'll give you for $15 an hour that I stole from Microsoft, and they worked at Microsoft for 3 years, or they worked at IBM for fucking 7 years. And I just said, hey, look, I'll double whatever the fuck they're paying you. I'll just double it, because to me, it's still only 50% or 40% of what I'd have to pay for a half experienced guy in the US. So yeah, sure, I'll double your salary, no problem. You'll get a real engineer for that.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, well, I think that's definitely like the future where we're going. I think that, shit. Maybe, I don't know if you've seen Tesla's app. Have you seen their app?
Mm-hmm.
Their app is pretty fucking slick. Like, they have, referral software. They've got all the inner workings. They can see what people's cars are charged to the minute and all that shit. Obviously, that would be way expensive. All that we're talking about is someone's home and, how many kilowatt hours they're using in a day, which most of it's going to be just a API. It just downloads the data. But
yeah, we just need to plan out a little bit. So like for me, part of my process is one, first figure out not necessarily your budget, but figure out what you can afford and what you would be comfortable spending. So that gives me kind of an ideal to know. Once I know that, then we can move forward with essentially like a project brief to understand more or less an overview, a high-level overview of the software, of what it would do. Then we tackle the user stories. Who are the users and how do they actually use the software? And that gives us enough information to know if I've got those three pieces, I know what you can afford and what you would be willing to spend, a brief of what the software does, and the user stories. That gives me enough information to go to the drawing board and work out, what's the cheapest that we could build this for your actual budget that you're comfortable spending. What can we get you with that? Because you can tell me, hey, I'm comfortable spending $100,000, and your requirements come back and that's only going to cost $17K. Well, guess what? I'm not going to tell you this is going to be $17K. I'm going to say, look, we could build this for $70K, but since you've got $100,000, we could build all this other shit as well. So it gives me kind of enough information to know how much is the minimum going to be to build the minimum requirements that you have, and then if there's any excess in your budget, what could we do for that excess so that I don't leave money on the table myself and that you can get additional features. So once I know that, we can kind of go in and work out, what things are going to cost, what that's going to actually look like.
Cool.
But it seems like once we get that brief and that user stories, I'll be able to go in and actually check out and find out, where could we get this data? Where can we get this data? It could be as simple as we just get it from some open source API, and then great, done, easy.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Awesome, man. Well, I think that gives me enough to be dangerous for now. I'm going to get going on all this other stuff in the, platforms, and I'll let you know kind of, where I'm at. But hopefully we can get.
So I put inside the Zoom chat a link to our group. You see that link?
Yep.
So just make sure you join that group, man. That's a Tier 5 community. Lots of helpful people in there, and it's kind of like it's a support group for all sorts of stuff. If you have issues with the software, you can get help in there. If you want general strategy, how could I do this? How could I do that? People are there to help you, and it's included in your membership. So lots of strategy in there. Make sure you join in there. Literally, you'll see, like, when I have free time, I'll just go into the group and say, hey, what do you guys need help with today? And if anybody needs help, I'll make some time and go in and, help them. So yeah, make sure you join the group. And then if you need any help with anything or have any questions, just, send me a message or post something in the group, and then we'll get everything taken care of.
Awesome. And then as far as the affiliate stuff, was that in the email that you sent me, or?
For the affiliate stuff, all right, let me just find that. That is actually not really in the email. It's in the group. So actually, if you join the group, so if you go to the actual group, and once you join the group, I don't know how familiar you are with units, but if you check out the units, there's a getting started unit, and if you just check out getting started with Tier 5, it will show you all you need, and right here, this is where if you just click this link right here, this is where you will actually be able to sign up to be an affiliate, and then be able to get your affiliate links so that you can, promote the software and, get credit if anybody signs up and make affiliate commission on that. So if you just, like I said, if you just join the group and then go to the units, it's in the getting started unit. I'd recommend just kind of reading both of them. This is a little bit long, but it kind of tells you a background of the Tier 5 community and why it exists and why I actually started it. And then that second thing just kind of gives you some information about the softwares and, what you have access to, what you can request access to, because we have some beta softwares you can request access to, and then your affiliate information, how to get your actual affiliate information, how to sign up to be an affiliate and get your affiliate links and stuff like that. But it's essentially delivered in the chatbot.
Okay, and then so the chatbot, I don't see a link to that. What's the deal with the chatbots? Because I'm super interested in all that stuff.
So the chatbots, here's a link to the chatbots right here. I'll just pop that in Zoom as well. That's a chatbot for Tier 5. And we just use this. We use the chatbot for customer support. If you need customer support, you can put in customer support there. We use it for broadcast notifications. I use it to deliver, like if you want to get your affiliate link, you can get that from the chatbot. If somebody buys from your affiliate link, you're going to get a notification in the chatbot, just like I got one here a little bit ago, actually, from you. If you see, I just got a notification. I just got a notification right here. From the chatbot letting me know that I got a new affiliate sale right whenever you signed up. You signed up, and I knew, okay, hey, this guy just signed up on my affiliate link. So you can just go into the chatbot, and once you sign up to be an affiliate, you can just type in link, and that will give you your actual affiliate link, where you can get your affiliate link. And literally all you have to do as an affiliate is take that link, and it's just a link to the chatbot, and get somebody to click that link. And then once they get inside the chatbot, they can find out about any of our software products or our community. And then anything that they do inside the chatbot, they have your affiliate link with them. So if they want to, for example, if they want to join the community, we're going to give them some information about the community. And then whenever we allow them to sign up for the community, and we give them a link to sign up, it's your affiliate link, because as they go into the chatbot, we know, okay, you referred them there, so everything they see inside the chatbot has your affiliate link attached in it. And then if you're interested in chatbots and you want one built for you, I can set you up with a chatbot developer. if you're a community member, which you are, it's $700 a month. So you pay $700, and for that, you don't get some IBM guy. You don't get a guy that, you know, worked at IBM for 4 or 5 years. You don't get a senior level architect, but you get a chatbot developer. You get a developer that can build a chatbot. You can do any of your stuff on ManyChat, any of your stuff on ChatFuel. He can do basic custom programming if you need custom integrations in your chatbot, like API calls to third-party services, like, you know, your own CRM or something like that. And he can do any of the automations through Zapier or Integromat. And then he can also do, like, if you need a ClickFunnels page built, he can build your ClickFunnels pages. He can't write your content, obviously, because he's a software engineer, so he can't create marketing content. But if you provide him how you want the page to look, and you provide him the words, he can go in and actually build the funnel pages for you so that you don't have to build them. And then he can go in and set up the automations for you. And that dude's he's $700 a month. How that works is you hire him. We do an intake call. I introduce you to the team leader, the guys who manages him, introduce you to the actual resource, set your expectations, and then once you hit the time clock, once you say, hey, I want to start consuming this guy's time, he's yours for the next 160 hours. And then once that 160 hours are gone, you can choose to renew. If you only keep him busy for 4 hours a day, then you just paid for 4 hours. You paid for 8 hours and you only got 4 hours. So during the intake call, I'll give you plenty of suggestions as far as, you know, during the intake call, we'll evaluate, are you ready to start today? If not, here's what you need to do to get ready to actually start with this guy. And I'll give you suggestions on, you know, hey, what's he going to do? All right, well, if he's going to do this, here's what you should do. You need to make sure that you have, you know, this, and this in place. That way, if you only have 4 hours worth of work assigned for him for one day, he doesn't sit with his thumb up his ass watching YouTube videos for 4 hours. If he does, those YouTube videos should be something related to solar panels. So give that guy enough information. If he runs out of work, he can do something that will make him more productive in the future work because he knows something about your industry, or he knows something about your business, or he's doing something that will help him in the future. So I kind of set those expectations. But like I said, then it's once you start and say, hey, I want him to start doing work right now, he's your full-time resource, just like any employee. If you don't keep him busy, if you don't manage him, well, I don't know if you've ever had employees before, but good ones manage themselves, and the rest of them, you got to tell them fuckers what to do and have a supervisor. So they do have supervisors, but you do have to keep them busy. But I give you all the information that you need to make sure that you keep him busy and he's got enough stuff to do where he doesn't sit idle. And then I have other people that buy the chatbot developers, and what they do is they only have like 2 hours worth of work that they need done. So they schedule those 2 hours, and then the rest of the time they just sell it off. You know, you're paying $700 a month. That ends up being like $5 an hour. So they get their 2 hours worth of work done for the day, and then they just go into the community and they're like, you know, hey, I've got 6 hours of chatbot. Who wants it? And then somebody's like, hey, you know, I'll do it. And then they sell it for like $50 or $100 for those extra 6 hours, and then they just let them work on somebody else. So you can do that, or you can have them do your own stuff. So if you want a chatbot built, then like I said, we'll hook you up with a chatbot developer, and they can go in and build your stuff if you want that. And they're really cool. Chatbots are really cool.
Okay, cool. Nice, man. Well, I am excited to get going with it, and I appreciate you taking the time, man.
Yeah, my pleasure. If you need anything, just reach out to me, man.
Rock and roll. And did you record the call?
I did. I'll send you a link to it if you want it.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
No problem, my man.
Rock and roll. Where are you in India?
I'm in Kolkata in West Bengal, pretty much right next to Bangladesh.
Oh shit, man! How often do you come to the States?
I just was actually in your neck of the woods last month, so I just spent like 3 weeks in Cali. I brought back all these presents from San Diego, so like literally I smuggled like 3 ounces of weed through the airport because the weed over here in India sucks real bad. But yeah, I spent like 3 weeks in the U.S. Was in Michigan, Denver. Spent like a week in Denver, and then a week in Cali. But not very often. I live here in India full time. I stay here for 6 months at a time because of my visa. I got a business visa, and I can only be here 180 days. Then I have to leave the country for 14 days, get my visa stamped somewhere, get my passport stamped in a different country besides India, and be gone for 14 days before I can come back. And usually I just go to an island. Usually I go to Bali, or I go to Thailand, or I just go to some, the Caribbean, Jamaica. I go to an island where it's just nice and chillax. So I don't come back to the U.S. that often unless, I have to for a client or something, or for business. But not very often do I go back there. I mean, I will if I need to, but it's
Nice.
it's expensive there, and I miss it a lot of times just because the U.S. there are a lot of commodities in the U.S. Like good milk, like good cold pasteurized milk. I mean, who the hell really? Why would I want to freaking drink milk that just literally came straight out of a titty? Like, I need that titty milk to go through a machine for some time, and they don't do that over here. They're just like, no, you just get the
fucking filter. That's hilarious, dude. Well, maybe I'll have to head by the dispensary and send you a care package one of these days.
That would be great, man. They really got it. I'm actually planning in the. I've got a base of affiliates in California. I've got like 30 affiliates, I think, that are in California that are in the community, and I've got it on the plans in the next 6 to 12 months. Open up an office in Cali and open up an office in Amsterdam. So probably right there around San Diego. Probably right there around San Diego, I'd be opening something up. San Diego, LA area.
Rock and roll, dude. Well, I've got a little bit of office space available. I'm in the, if you look up the Symphony Towers, I've got like a fucking dope ass view. So let me know if you need some space.
Yeah, that would be perfect, man. What I'm trying to do with the offices there are kind of two things. One, just a shell location for marketing and stuff where, if I get some client in LA, those dudes will pay $70 an hour for development from a company easily, because the other firms in LA are charging $200 an hour. So they'll pay, if I've got like a legit office where I can just court them and say, yeah, come over to the office and sit down for a chat. So just for that marketing shell. And then as employee retention, my dudes over here, they want to go to the U.S. really bad. They want to, travel really bad. So whenever they get real anxious over here and they think about leaving because another company says, hey, we'll send you to the U.S., I'll just send them to California for a week or 2 weeks and let them work out of that office and get their little travel shit done, and then, bring them back over here. So, yeah, it definitely could be a great opportunity there, because I don't technically need like a real office all the time. I just need it if a client wants to have a physical meeting in California somewhere, to be like, okay, come to our office and I'll make sure there's people there to talk to you.
Nice, dude. What's a good place to send you a picture real quick?
Facebook would probably be the best place.
Okay. Here, let me, I'll go to my messenger real quick. There you go. That's the conference room that we can close some people in.
Oh, that looks like it would. I mean, that looks like it almost sells itself, right?
Dude, it's fucking game over. Like, I used to go to people for closes, and now I'm like, listen, like, I don't have time. Like, literally, you have to come to me if you want to get signed up for solar, or I can send you an e-sign right now. Like, we're going to do a web conference, or you're going to come here. You want to come here? Great. They come to the conference room, and they're like, this is unbelievable. Wow, you really have it going on. And I'm like, yes, I do. Go ahead and sign here.
Yeah, it's a beautiful view. It's a really nice view. So totally digging it.
Yeah, dude. Let's get it.
Yeah, let me know if you need anything, man. I'm here.
Rock and roll. Thanks so much, John.
Yeah.
We'll be in touch for sure.
My pleasure. Have a good one, man.
Likewise, man.
Yeah, bye.